Hey guys, hey, welcome to the QST channel. Uh, okay, let's just start. The above function D models the distance in meters Jerry has to swim to reach the end line in a competition after swimming for T seconds. But how many meters can Jerry swim each second? Okay, the most important part, remember, the function D, the distance, has to swim to reach the end. So it's not the distance he swam, it's the distance he needs to swim to reach the end. So for example, let me draw it. This is the start, this is the end. Here at the start it's 0 seconds, which means this will be 0, so the distance left will be 50. So this whole thing is 50 meters. And then at 1, when you substitute to the 1, you'll get 49.92. So he will be like here, and it will be 49.92 meters until he reaches the end. And then if you do it more, like 49.84 and so on, so each second he moves 0.08 until he gets closer and closer to the finish line. So it's not negative 0.08 because they're trying to trick you. Alan lives in a town at an altitude of 500 feet above sea level. He drives from his home uphill a mountainous road to visit a friend. For each 3-mile drive uphill, the altitude increases by 50 feet. Build a function h that models Alan's altitude in feet relative to sea level after driving x miles from home. Okay, what did they say? 3 miles gives 50 feet. If you want to find the x, it just means you find the 1 mile. So 1 mile gives, you divide by 3 to get 1 mile, so 50 over 3. So you just put 50 over 3. This one is already given. Okay, for this one, it's really easy. The slope is what's next to the x, -2. X-intercept is when y is 0, so 0 equals -2x plus 3. -2x equals -3. X equals -3 over 2. The negative cancels, 1.5. So it's 1.50. And y-intercept is x is 0, so y equals -2, 0 plus 3. 0 cancels it, so it's just y equals 3. So 0, 3. Okay, this one. First you look at the graph of the x-intercept. It's at -3. So it's x minus 3, x plus 3. So you look at the ones with x plus 3. This one and this one. So if you want to know which one's correct, just substitute with easy points on the graph. Okay, there's -1, 1 I think. Yes, okay, and 1, 2. Use these 2 points to substitute. Substitute in this equation first. -1, 1, so 1 equals k -1 plus 3 cubed. That will be 2 cubed, which is 8, so 8k equals 1. K equals 1 over 8. Okay, we got k equals 1 over 8. Now, if we substitute this equation with 1 over 2, 1, 2, we should get 1 over 8 if it's correct. So let's check. um, 2 equals k 1 plus 3 cubed. 1 plus 3 is 4, 4 cubed is 64. 64k equals 2, divided by 64k equals 2 over 64. That's not the same, so it's wrong. So the only other option is the x plus 3, x squared plus 9. Okay, for this one, you just find the equation, then you just make it equal to 20. Wait, I'll show you. So 0, 5, use the easiest points. These are the only points you can use anyway. 0, 5 and 4, 0. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. 5 minus 0 over 0 minus 4. So it's negative 5 over 4. Okay, so the equation is y equals negative 5 over 4 x plus b. But we have b, they give us y-intercept here, 0, 5, right? So we can just immediately put 5 here. Now, here, they put it equal to 20, so we need to make it equal to 20. And also x and y are on the same side, so we need to switch. So if you move it this side, 5 over 4x plus y equals 5. How do you turn 5 into 20? You multiply by 4. So multiply this whole thing by 4. You get 5x plus 4y equals 20. And just put it here. Okay. Here, if you want the equation of a function of a line, يعني, you need to first find the slope and then the y-intercept. So, but here they don't give us points. So how do you find the slope? They give us f of x decreases by 8 and every 4 units increase in x. That means y is negative 8 and x is positive 4. So imagine it's like y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So y over x. Negative 8 over 4 equals negative 2. So because they just said decreases by or increases by, you don't need to do the whole slope thing. You just put them over each other. So now you found that it's negative 2. Y equals negative 2x plus they gave us the y-intercept is 200, so you don't need to solve anything they gave us. So that's the equation. Okay. For this one, look. First one, it's a. It's 65. Then when you add 15 to it, it becomes 57. So 65 minus 57, you see it decreased by 8. So when you add 15 here, it decreased by 8 here. So if you add 15 again, it becomes a plus 30. It will go by 8 again, so it will be 49. Then you go plus 15 again here, a plus 45 to minus 8 again, which is 41, which is what we want to find here, 45. So that's it. Okay, for this one, again, no calculators allowed, so you have to memorize the thing. Okay, radical 3 over 2 is here, so it's 60. So theta 1 is 60, or pi over 3. So it's in radians. Pi over 3. And remember, for sine, the angles with the same sign are 180 minus theta. But 180 in radians is pi. So يعني pi minus pi over 3. You make it same denominator, so 3 pi over 3. So 3 pi minus pi, 2 pi over 3. Okay, so that's theta 2. Now you can find even more if you add 360, or يعني 2 pi. So plus 2 pi if you make it in denominator, it will be 6 pi over 3. It will be 7 pi over 3. And you do the same here. Anyway, you will find these. Okay, this one 7 pi over 3, pi over 3, and 2 pi over 3. You can even subtract by 2 pi, or subtract by 2 pi if you want to get a negative, but there wasn't here. Symmetric about the origin means odd. So you substitute with the negative, and it has to be opposite of the original. So y equals negative x over negative x squared stays x squared, so x squared plus 1. This is opposite because the numerator is opposite, and just the numerator. Okay, so it's correct. This one x squared stays, x squared stays, so it's equal, so it's wrong. This one x will be negative x over x squared stays minus 2x. Here you should have only one negative above, and the denominator just stays the same, not like this. So it's wrong. Y equals 2x over x squared plus 1. So y equals negative 2x over x squared stays. So it is opposite, correct, because the numerators are opposite. X cubed over x cubed plus 1. X cubed, it's an odd power, so it stays negative x cubed over squared positive plus 1. So the numerator is opposite, so it's correct. Symmetric about the y-axis means even. So if you substitute with the negative, it will be equal. This one, negative x cubed, because it's odd, so it stays. X squared stays. This is not equal, so wrong. 1 over x squared plus 1, x squared stays, so it will stay all the same, correct. X over x squared plus 2x, x becomes negative x over x squared stays minus 2x. Of course not, wrong. X squared plus x squared over x squared plus 1, x squared stays, x squared stays, so everything is the same. X over x squared plus 1, x becomes negative, x squared stays, so no. Okay, now for this, use sine squared plus cosine squared equals 1. So sine squared plus cosine is what? 12 over 13. So 12 over 13 squared equals 1. Sine squared plus, simplify it or distribute the power, 144 over 169 equals 1. Sine squared equals 1, which is like 169 over 169, minus 144. Okay, it will be equal to 25 over 169. You want sine squared, so you don't need to square root. Okay, here you have secant and tan, and the rule that relates them is 1 plus tan squared equals secant squared. And here, which one is squared, tan or secant? It's the secant. So you substitute the secant. So 1 plus tan squared minus 22 tan x plus 20 equals 0. Tan squared minus 22 tan plus 21 equals 0. Okay, so I'll just put x instead of tan, so x squared minus 22x plus 21 equals 0. You can just factor this, x minus 21, x minus 1 equals 0. So x is equals 21 or x equals 1. And here they put x equals 1, so you put 21. Okay. It's strong because look, all the points are together, and negative because it's going down, like this. Okay. The equation of the line. Okay, so you find 2 points. This one, 1290, and 6020. Well, actually 2060. So 90 minus 60 over 12 minus 20. Okay, so it's negative 30 over negative 8. No, wait, it's 30 over negative 8, sorry. So it's going to be equal to... Actually, I'll just keep it a fraction. Okay. Oops. Y equals negative 30 over 8x plus b. Now to find b, substitute with a point. Okay, let's just 1290, so 90 equals negative 30 over 8 times 12 plus b. Wait, that's negative 45. So b equals 135. Okay, so the equation is y equals negative 30 over 8 plus 135. Let's see what they want though. They want it to be 4y. So you multiply the whole thing by 4. And you bring this to the other side. 4y equals negative 30 over 8 times 4 is negative 15. Negative 15x plus 540. They want 15x on the other side, so 15x plus 4y equals 540. Okay, so this one says 12 hours, which means the x. So 12, what's the y, or what is grade? So you just look 1290. The model letter grade. Okay, so you look between 60 and 70. There's like a little. 70 and 80 also a little. 80 to 90 there's a lot. 90 and 100 there's a little. So it's here obviously. And here from the graph it says between 80 and 90 is B. I'll leave this one for later. Symmetric about the origin means you change the x and the y. So negative 6 becomes positive, negative 8 becomes positive. Or positive becomes negative, but here it's just negative. Vertical asymptote is what makes the denominator 0. 4x minus 40 equals 0. 4x equals 40, x equals 10. Horizontal is the x over the x, so 8 over 2 equals to 4. Vertical asymptote is again the denominator, 2x minus 4 equals 0, 2x equals 4, x equals 2. Y-intercept is when x is 0, so y equals 0, 8 times 0 is 0, plus 120 over 2 times 0 is 0, minus 4. 120 over negative 4 equals negative 30. crosses the x-axis يعني x-intercept يعني y is 0. 0 equals 8x plus 120 over 2x minus 4, which means the numerator is 0. So 8x plus 120 equals 0. 8x equals negative 120, x equals negative 15. Symmetric about the y-axis, you just change the x. So negative 6 becomes positive 6. The y does not change. F of x equals 0. So you look at where it intercepts the x-axis. Here and here. Negative 3 and 4. They want the positive root, which is 4, and the other one negative is negative 3. F of x equals 100. So again, when it touches 100 here, this line, you have one here, and one here. Negative 3, negative 1, 7. So yeah, you put them in order: smallest, largest, and middle. Okay, so for this use cosine squared plus sine squared equals 1. Cosine squared plus radical 17 over 100 squared. The radical cancels 17. 10 squared is 100 equals 1. Cosine squared 1 minus 17 over 100 is 83 over 100. They want cosine x. They want cosine x, so you square root, so cosine equals to, with the calculator, 0.91. But remember, they said between 90 and 180, and from all students take calculus. 1980 يعني here oh here يعني this quadrant. okay, so s يعني sine positive only, not cosine, so cosine is negative. Remember, a for all is positive, s sine positive, t tan positive, c and is cosine positive. Oh yeah, by the way, the question is wrong. It's supposed to be negative 0.91, but they put negative 0.83, which is wrong. Okay, this one again, cosine squared plus sine squared equals 1. You have cosine squared here, so you're gonna substitute that. Cosine squared equals 1 minus sine squared. Now we can substitute, but first I'll move all this to this side first. So negative cosine squared x minus sine x minus 1 equals 0. Now I'll substitute negative 1 minus sine squared x minus sine x minus 1 equals 0. So then negative, will switch all the signs inside. Negative 1 plus sine squared minus sine minus 1 equals 0. Minus 1 minus 1 minus 2, it's minus 1 and minus 1 becomes minus 2. So sine squared minus sine minus 2 equals 0. Okay, it's same thing as x squared minus x minus 2 equals 0. So you can factor this, x minus 2 x plus 1 equals 0. So x equals negative 1 or x equals 2. So that's, they put negative 1, so just x equals 2. Okay, this one, sine squared plus cosine squared equals 1. 3 over 5 squared, 9 over 25, plus cosine squared equals 1. 1 minus 9, 25 minus 9, 16 over 25. That's the answer. Okay, so same thing, sine squared plus cosine squared is what? 12 over 13 squared is what? 144 over 169 equals 1. 1 minus 144 or 169 minus 144, it will be sine squared equals to 25 over 169. That's the answer because they don't want sine, they want sine squared. Okay, this one, secant squared equals 1 plus tan squared. So tan squared is what? 7 over 5 squared is 49 over 25. So secant squared equals 1 plus 49 over 25. 1 is 25 over 25, so 25 plus 49. Secant squared equals to 74 over 25. That's the answer, 74. Sine squared is 3 over 8, so just immediately write 3 over 8 plus cosine squared equals 1. 1 minus 3 over 8 is 5 over 8. Cosine squared is equals 5 over 8. So, and then they want 160 times that, so times 160, cancel. 5 times 20 equals 100. Okay. Okay, just look at hours at 7, which is the x, and go to the y. Check here. What's between 8 and 96? 88. Which is basically, you do 80 plus 96 over 2. Okay, now to find the gradient at a point, you find the derivative. So derivative is you take the power down, make it go down, and it gets reduced. So like y equals 3. 3, it goes down, it becomes a 4. I mean, it multiplies to the 4, so 3 times 4, 12. X squared, because you took away a power. Okay, so that's the derivative. Now they want it at negative 2, so y prime equals 12. 2 squared. 2 squared is 4. 4 times 12, 48. This is the same thing, except it's a big one. So 4, you make it go down, so 12x cubed plus 2, you take it down, 2 times 2, 4, x minus, here it's a 1, so 1 times negative 4, it will stay the same, it's a 4, and it will go away. Okay, now we substitute with negative 1, so it here odd power, so negative 12 minus 4 minus 4, so negative 16 minus 4, negative 20. Okay, first I'll rewrite this because it looks confusing a bit. 1 over 3, it's puts next to the x to the power 6, minus 1 over 4, actually 3 over 4 x to the power of 8. Okay, now I will derive it. Y prime equals, you bring the 6 down, so 6 times 1 over 3, which is 6 over 3, x to the power of 5, and 8 times 3 over 4, so 8 times 3, 24 over 4, x to the power 7. 6 over 3 is what? 2. 2x to the power 5, minus 24 over 4, 6, x to the power 7. Okay, now they want at negative 1, so it will be negative 2 minus, actually plus 6, because negative negative, which is 4. The slope of the tangent to the curve at the point of interaction with the y-axis. What they're saying is they want the derivative or the slope at the y-axis. Y-axis يعني x equals 0. So okay, y prime equals, you bring the 4 down, 12x cubed plus 11. The negative 1 disappears because it's a constant. If it doesn't have x, it just goes away. So yeah, y-axis means x equals 0, so y prime equals 0 plus 11 equals 11. Okay. To find the equation of a line, you would need the slope. Normally you need the slope and the y-intercept, right? So first of all, the easy part, how do you get the slope from a curve? You do the derivative. So first let's do the derivative, then we'll see what you can do for the y-intercept. So y prime equals to 3x squared plus 8x plus 8x, okay, and at 2, so you substitute 2, 2 to the power of 2 is 4, 4 times 3, 12, 12 plus 16 equals 28. So when we know the slope is 28. So y equals 28x plus b. Now if it was a normal equation, you would substitute with a point on the line to get b, right? But you don't have a point, right? But what you can do is use the point when x equals 2. So you substitute this in here. So y equals 2 cubed plus 4 2 squared plus 10. You'll get 8 plus 16, you get 34. So now the point is 234. You'll use this, you substitute this in y equals to 28x plus b. So 34 equals 2 times 28, 56 plus b. You subtract this, b equals to negative 22. So you get the equation y equals 28x minus 22. Um, so basically, you first find the derivative and you find the slope at x equals 2, and then you find the y by substituting the x into this, and then substitute that point in the equation that you got to get the negative 22. Okay, goodbye, and subscribe and like. And actually I don't think I explained well today, but it's fine.